Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for WWE NXT UK for April 10th, 2019, and this is episode 38. Now, before I continue on with the review, I do want to mention that this is going to be the last show in Coventry, England, um, because I mentioned that because, you know, a lot of people are probably expecting some type of follow-up to the WWE United Kingdom Championship match that took place um, at NXT Takeover New York, but they really didn't do anything with it, because obviously these set of tapings um, took place prior to that match at NXT Takeover New York, so they really couldn't do much with it. They did talk about it, but they didn't really mention really anything more other than that. They did like an interview about it, but that's really about it. So, because it's really tough to do something about it because they can't cut a promo in front of the live crowd because Pete Dunne was still the champion at the time the shows were going on. But they did do some things talking about it, so yeah. Um, but you know, these are the last set of tapings in Coventry, England, which is pretty exciting. You can kind of tell when it's the last set of tapings because they'll typically do like a big like championship match or like a big match they've been building up to for weeks um, in that area. So you can kind of tell when it's the last set of tapings because the difference between this and the regular NXT is all of the NXTs pretty much take place in Full Sail, and NXT UK travels around um, the UK. Sometimes they're in Coventry, sometimes they're in Plymouth, sometimes they're in Liverpool. So I think it's really you know NXT UK is really cool that way. So I think it's awesome. Because obviously these are like a series. I think these are like two big shows. So yeah, but let's get right into the show. Um, we had Nigel McGuinness and Vic Joseph on commentary for the show. Um, Kicked right off with the match. It was Travis Banks versus Cassius Ohno. Um, I really enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good actually. It definitely exceeded my expectations. Um, they both started chain wrestling each other, but because Cassius Ohno is bigger and more powerful than Travis Banks, he gets the advantage. They do a funny spot where Travis Banks tries to do a shoulder tackle into him. Like since Cassius Ohno is so big, he has no effect on him. He just looks at stage and says, "Oh, I didn't even know you were there." I do like the new heel Cassius Ohno. I actually think it's pretty damn good. So Travis Banks, he had to have been the biggest geek on this show because he tells Cassius Ohno to run at him, and he goes to do it, but Cassius Ohno like crushes his leg, like stomps on his legs or his feet. So that was kind of a bit goofy. And then Cassius Ohno goes to do him himself. Travis Banks catches him with wicked kicks right to the chest and then right to the back of the leg. He throws Cassius Ohno on the outside, and then he hits a suicide dive, but it has no effect on Cassius Ohno, so he ends up hitting. Um, so then he ends up, just swatting him away, pushing him into the apron, and then he throws him into the steps, and Cassius Ohno gets the heat on Travis Banks for a while. However, he ends up missing a moonsault, which Travis Banks moves out of the way. Travis Banks does to mount a comeback, but eventually Cassius Ohno sends Travis Banks shoulder first into the turnbuckles, and he really sells it. I thought at first he was going to play possum and just pretend like he was selling it, but he was actually selling it. So I actually thought that he did a really good job. Um, Cassius Ohno goes after the shoulders of Travis Banks, and he just kills Travis Banks for a while. He hits the um, wicked um, big boot into the corner, into the ropes while Travis Banks against him. A reverse, um, elbow, just really beat the crap. He stomped on Travis Banks' neck, but then Travis Banks starts to mount a comeback. He hits a wicked double stomp in the corner, another suicide dive, a double stomp across the back off the top rope, but he doesn't get but he keeps getting near fall time after time after time. Um, Eventually, Cassius Ohno hits the uh, Rubik's Cube, but he takes too long to get into the cover, so Travis Banks kicks out. and then Travis Banks hits 3 roll-ups, and after the third one, Travis Banks finally gets the win on Cassius Ohno. And I actually was fine with this decision. Cassius Ohno role at this point should be just to put over um, like the newer stars in both NXTs, because that's kind of what his role should be, is to get the new talent over, because there's really nothing that Cassius Ohno can really do in NXT UK or really NXT. Um, so I actually like this, and I could see them continuing this feud where after a match, either next week, which is this week, or a couple episodes later, where Cassius Ohno just jumps Travis Banks and they do a rematch or something. So I don't think this feud's over, but I actually thought this match was really good. I really enjoyed this match. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Um, then we had Jordan Devlin get interviewed, and he talks about the WWE United Kingdom Championship match and how everyone wants to see the rematch between Walter and Pete Dunne. And Jordan Devlin says that he deserves the rematch because he's been winning for months, while Pete Dunne's just a loser. So I actually like this interview. I'm assuming it's going to either build to a match between Jordan Devlin and Pete Dunne. Like Pete Dunne will show back up on NXT UK, get like a big win against Jordan Devlin, and then they'll set up the rematch from there. Or they're just going to have Walter versus Walter versus Jordan Devlin, and then Walter will defend the title against him and retain it probably. So I think that's going to be interesting. Then we got the next match. It was Killer Kelly versus Piper Niven. I thought this was a solid match. It was really just an enhancement match to kind of put Piper Niven over. But Piper Niven looked strong in this match. She's very athletic for someone at her weight, and she ends up winning with the cannonball into the driver, which makes sense for her to win because it's her first match in NXT UK. And then afterwards, Rhea Ripley tries to hit the win, but Piper Niven sees it coming. So there was that. But I like the way they did all this stuff. I like how they're slowly building up, the two dominant forces of NXT UK going at each other with Rhea Ripley and Piper Niven. So I'm actually cool with this. Then Mustache Mountain get interviewed, and they talk about how they're going to go to New York and represent NXT UK, British Strong Style, and Mustache Mountain. And they make some jokes with Radzi, who was interviewing him, talking about how he's going to get to New York and everything like that. And they basically challenge Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster to a match, which I'm actually excited to see that tag team match when they do that match in New York. So, like I said, I'm excited that they do the tape-ins in the U.S., but if I'm really not excited about it in a way because of the WrestleMania access crowd is anything like the Royal Rumble access crowd was, then kind of all set with seeing it. But I still think we'll have an awesome match. I just really wish it was going to take place in front of a better crowd. But yeah. I really enjoyed this segment. I really like the way Mustache Mountain were acting. And yeah. And I guess I want to mention this because I haven't been able to mention this on camera yet. I guess Noam Dar really got injured because we haven't heard any mentions of him on the show. So I guess obviously Mark Andrews didn't really get hurt, but Noam Dar really got hurt, which kind of sucks for him because he kind of basically tore the same, ACL that he tore, back in 2017. So that really sucks because he was really starting to get momentum again in NXT UK. So sucks that he's going to miss more action. I don't know how long he'll be out for. He was out before about, I think he was out about 7 months because he was injured in December and came back like in July. So January, February, March, April. Yeah, he was out about 7 months. So that really sucks. We might not see him until early next year. Then the Girls Are Done veterans are backstage, and it's basically just Zach Gibson doing the talking, but they pretty much say that they're upset because they can't go back to Liverpool. They have to fly back out to New York like before. So this time they're going to issue an open challenge to anybody in New York, but it's only open for the NXT UK roster. So I imagine it's going to be a really big tag team that accepts the challenge. Not really sure who it could be. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be Amir Jordan and they say it's non-title too. So it's probably going to be maybe Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, or I could see it being the Hunt. I would like it to be the Hunt, actually. That would be awesome. But I think it's going to be probably Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams, and they'll win that match, and they'll earn them an NXT UK Tag Team title match, because I can't really think of any other teams that it would be, unless they did Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. But I don't think they're going to do that match, since they're doing the Mustache Mountain match instead, and they typically, don't have people wrestle more than once. When it comes to the UK tapings, because we only had like 3 set of tapings, and we only saw each person once, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see the Grizzly Young Veterans wrestle. I don't think they've had a match as a tag team since um the Phoenix tapings, actually. Um, because storyline wise, Zach Gibson's been hurt and everything. Then we had the next match. It was Jack Stars versus Joseph Connors. Um, yeah, I thought this match was a nice enhancement match for um, Joseph Connors. Joseph Connors pretty much destroyed him, but Jack Evans did get not Jack Evans, Zach Stars did get some offense in the match. He had some hope spots, but eventually Joseph Connors though hit a lot of unique moves. He tried to go up on the top turnbuckle into a like a shoulder block, and he hit the move, but you could tell like he tripped. I don't know if he was supposed to do a shoulder block, if he was supposed to do something else, but whatever. But Joseph Connors was talking trash to Jack Stars, which I loved. And then when Jack Stars goes for a high cross body, Joseph Connors catches him into a don't look down, gets the win. And yeah, I really hope this means something big for Joseph Connors, because I really like him. I think he could be a huge star in NXT UK. Then we had another vignette for Dave Mastiff, talking about how he's the man that he is, basically because of the way my dad treated me. So they're really hyping him up again. I don't know who he could feud with. I would like to see him feud with Jordan Devlin. I would actually like to see him face Walter. Maybe that's why they're doing all these vignettes, is they're going to have him beat Walter for the NXT, UK Championship. So that would be interesting. But then we had the main event. It was an NXT UK Women's Championship match. NXT UK Women's Champion Toni Storm versus Ginny. I actually thought this was a really good match. I don't know which match I like more, this one or Cassius Ohno versus Travis Banks. I might say this one because this match had my intrigue a little bit more, and the storyline was more for me. Obviously these are two women that have fought basically all over the world. They fought in Progress Wrestling when Ginny beat Toni Storm for the women's title there, and then they've had the matches in WWE where Toni Storm won both of them by knocking Ginny out of the Mae Young Classics, as well as the tournament to crown the first NXT UK Women's Champion. So, and then they've had the feud going into this match. So this match had a lot of story behind it, and they wasted no time. They went right at it with each other. They brawled, and I like how quick it started. Toni Storm gets the advantage early, and she gets a half Boston Crab into Ginny, and then gets a version of an STF, but Ginny gets the ropes. Ginny finally mounts a comeback and hits a um, surfboard submission move right onto Toni Storm, and then Toni Storm and then she does a camel clutch. Toni Storm reverses it, and then Ginny hits a flatliner into the corner, and she dominates the match for a while. She hits an arm drag like suplex into the corner, but doesn't get the pinfall. Toni Storm tries mounts a comeback. She goes for the Storm Zero, but her back's just been worked on the whole match, so it doesn't really work. Eventually, Ginny puts her up against the turnbuckles and hits a face buster, but Ginny just gets her foot on the ropes, and then Toni Storm hits the trifecta, 3 German suplexes. I did like that she struggled on the third one because that made sense, and then she hits a power bomb into the Storm Zero and gets the win, which I thought made sense because Toni Storm really hasn't been champion all that long, and it's really kind of too soon, I think, to take the belt off. I don't think Ginny was the person to do it. Um, I don't know what this means for Toni Storm, who she feuds with next, because she can't really go with Rhea Ripley because she's already kind of, they've already kind of done that feud. If there was anyone I would like to see Toni Storm face, I would like to see her face Kaylee Ray. Um, but yeah, I don't know who else Toni Storm could face. But I would really like to see. But yeah, I think it makes sense to keep the belt on Toni Storm right now. So yeah. Um, but yeah, that's basically the show. And I actually thought it was a great show. I thought the show flowed very well. But it's not quite an A show. I think if we had had like another really competitive match or like another really good promo or something, um, you know, um, I would have given the show the like about an A minus. But I'm gonna give it a B plus. I thought it was a great show. I mean, still that's still a great rating. It's a B plus. So. But yeah, if I had to say what I thought was the best match on the show, it was probably Toni Storm versus Ginny for the NXT UK Women's title because just had the best storyline in it, and I thought overall it was just an overall, better match. Um, yeah, but that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Um, Next, I'll have my Worlds Collide review up. I'll have that up fairly soon. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel, Wrestling Fortune 44, and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. And make sure I kind of messed up the plugs, but whatever. But make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers and Owen the Talking to YouTube channels. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.